So winter is here and I want you to be alive. I want you to stay alive. And today's video, we're going to talk about ways that you could stay warm while you're out there homeless on the street. Now, in this video, I'm going to give you some ways that are not ethical, but it is what it is. I'd rather you be alive and continue to live your life instead of worry about the laws and worry about rules. But hey, you didn't hear this from me. So the first thing first, how to stay warm while you're homeless on the street is you can go to the ER and you can stay inside of the waiting room and just go ahead and warm up, and you can even charge your phone while you're there. Now, I had a certain situation where I was in the ER and the ER was packed. It was well over 30 people, and I seen some people there with backpacks. They were clearly homeless and they were coming in there and they were charging their phones and just sitting in a corner, and some of them were just falling asleep right then and there. They have a blanket with them. They didn't even ask none of the nurses or anybody to give them a blanket. They just sat in the seat, and in that waiting room, I would say I was at least there for an hour and nobody said nothing to them. I know that's not ethical, but if you do have an emergency room, let's say maybe you're in a major city, those rooms are packed. If you want to go ahead and just warm up, even if it's for like an hour or 2 hours, or maybe just to get by the night. I don't know how the rules are at certain ERs, but that is just one thing that I observed. And like I said, the medical staff where I live, they did not say nothing to the homeless people. And it was clearly about 3 to 4 homeless people that I seen doing it because they had their backpack and they had the blankets as well. So that is one way how you can stay warm. Now, another way that you can stay warm, especially during the day, is you can go ahead and stay at a public library. So let's say you're in New York City, it's snowing, there's a blizzard outside, or it's just really, really cold. You can go inside of your public library. Libraries usually they'll open up at 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock, so 7 to 8, and they'll usually close by 7 or 8 o'clock. It all depends on your area where you live. So you can go in those public libraries and legit just stay there, for 10 hours, 12 hours, or how many hours you want, and that's how you can stay warm. You can warm up. You can use the computer. I'm pretty sure they'll allow you to use the computer, and you can fill out job applications that way and just look at different resources. And that's even one way how to watch this video, so make sure that you're using your public libraries. I feel like libraries are underrated. A lot of people don't think about them or even talk about them, but yes, use your public library if you need to stay warm and safe during these cold winter months while homeless. Now, I know a lot of people do this in major cities, but you can hitchhike on the public bus. So a lot of these buses or even the trains, they'll go, all night. I'm talking about they'll go from 7 o'clock in the morning. They'll keep going from 1 o'clock in the morning. So you can go on different, it is going to cost you money because it's not free, but that's how you can stay warm if you're just on a bus or the train and just traveling around. Now, if you have a job and you're stationary, you need to go to your job in the morning, that's a different situation for you. But let's say you don't have a job and you're just trying to survive there on the street, definitely go ahead and hop on a train, hop on a bus, and just, especially for the night, because it gets really, really cold. At least here in Florida, I would want to say around 8 o'clock. So from about 8 to about 5 in the morning, you want to make sure if there's public transportation, if you have to pay the money, go ahead and sacrifice the money and go ahead and pay for it just so you can stay warm. I see a lot of people usually do that in the northern states like New York, New Jersey, in those areas over there. Now, let's just say you're a stationary person and you just want to chill out in your little spot and wherever you're at, whether you're under a bridge, whether you're in an abandoned building, whether you're in the woods, whatever, you could go ahead and get the Mylar blanket at Walmart. It's like an emergency blanket. I've seen a lot of people actually said that blanket actually works. I'm not sure how much it will cost wherever you live, but I was just looking at it. I want to say you need at least $20, I would say. It's different prices online. I was looking online. I'm like, hey, you got $8, then you got $12, then you got $20. So it all depends. I just say Walmart because they were selling it. But if you have a friend who has an address that can receive packages, see if you can go on Amazon or some type of website that sell blankets and go ahead and purchase a Mylar blanket. I'll go ahead and spell it out right there on the screen so you can see it. And no, this is not a paid advertisement, none of that. So please don't think I'm trying to sell you anything. I don't get any commission from this. Now, another tip I have for you to stay safe while you're out there homeless on the street, you can go ahead and double up on the pants and double up on the shirts and the sweaters, and yes, even double up on the socks. I know that sounds kind of obvious, but a lot of people, they don't even know about doubling up, especially like people here in Florida. They're like, what do you mean by double up? Double up, where I used to live in New York, that mean you had on 2 socks, you had on 2 pairs of pants, so one pants was more flexible than the other one, and you had on 2 shirts. They call it an undershirt. Make sure you got on 2 sweaters or even 2 jackets. Always double up, because you never know. You fall asleep at night, you're thinking, oh, I'm good for tonight, and then you could probably freeze to death, God forbid, while you fall asleep. So always make sure that you're double up when you're about to go to sleep, especially at nighttime. Let's say you live somewhere cold. I'm just going to use Colorado, that they get pretty cold up there, or you somewhere in like Vermont or New Hampshire, those spots get pretty cold and they do snow. So make sure that you have double the clothing, even if it's cheap clothing or even if it's dirty clothing. You want to make sure that you have 2 pairs of everything. Another tip I have for you, a lot of you probably don't notice, but Dollar General, usually Dollar General, they're the only store that I see leave cardboard out in the back. So they'll like use the cardboard for whatever the, you know, items that they have, and then they'll put it like on a cart, or they'll put it in the side, because a lot of Dollar Generals don't have 2-3 dumpsters. They just have one big dumpster. So that cardboard, I actually seen people go up and just take it for free, and then, you know, you could just tape it together if you want to make something out of it. But if you're homeless and you're sleeping on the ground, on the surface, it's better to have cardboard laid out on the ground instead of just your body, you know, you and your backpack. So if you want, go to a Dollar General, get some cardboard, and then you want to go to your little hiding spot where you sleep at, and you want to make sure you put some cardboard down so you can go ahead and have that insulation between you and the ground, because you don't want the cold coming up out of the ground, you know, into your body. That's how you can get sick, and it's just 10 times worse if you get sick. So please make sure that you always have some free cardboard, or you know where to get some free cardboard, and make sure you have a stash with you. Now, here's another weird tip, but I actually seen some people talk about this on Reddit, and they said hand grippers. So hand grippers are like that exercising little equipment. I'll throw a picture up for you guys so you can see what I'm talking about. And they say during the winter they use that on both hands. So, you know, sometimes you can get 2, or you can just get 1 and switch between hands. And the hand grippers, obviously it exercises your hand and make your hand a little bit stronger, but they also said that it helps make you stay warm, because, you know, you're exercising, your body start to heat up. So that was a weird tip that I seen, but I actually seen people agree, said, yeah, you know, that actually works, you know, because everyone doesn't have money to, you know, go to the gym, because the gym, you know, could be like $25 a month. Now hand grippers, you can get them cheap, you know, $10 to $15, you know, depending which one you get. You can get the plastic one, you can get, you know, different material. It's all up to you. Just Google hand grippers, and then you will see which one will benefit you. And don't get something too heavy, because you need to carry that around with you if you are going to use that to survive and stay warm. Now, I left this tip at the last for a reason, and the last tip I have for you, if you do want to stay warm, especially during these brutal, snowy, cold months, you want to make sure that every weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday, you have 2 different churches that you can go to, or whatever your religion is. You want to make sure you have 2 different buildings to go to. So for example, for Christians, we have Saturday church, and some people have Sunday churches, and some churches are both. They have service on Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to go there, services are usually, I would say, about 3 hours to 5 hours. It all depends what church you're going to. Some are less than even 3 hours, and you could just go there, you know, praise the Lord, praise God, and then you can also just warm up there. So instead of being out in the cold and being out in the snow, you can just, you know, and I'm not saying to just use the church just to stay warm, but that is a way that you can go ahead and stay warm. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say you're probably not religious, and I understand that, but that is one smart way, you know, a Saturday church and a Sunday church. And if you find a church that do both, that's even better. And of course, if you tell the church about your situation, 9 times out of 10, they will help you, because that's what us Christians, we are supposed to do. We are supposed to help people, just like how Jesus helped people in the Bible. So that is all the tips that I have for you. Like I said, even if you use 1 tip, you use 2, or you use all different 8 tips, it does not matter. I just want you to stay alive. I want you to stay warm, and I want to make sure that you're all right on the street, because it is the hardest time to be homeless. You know, these snowy months, you know, October, November, December, January, yes, even February, like, it's just cold. And I know what the cold is like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't want to be out there just freezing and suffering, especially if you have a pet. You got to worry about your pet as well. So that's really got to say for the video. Make sure y'all stay safe out there. Make sure you stay humble. Make sure you stay positive. God bless you. Remember, Jesus Christ love you, and peace out.